Hello peoples of the internet, I'm Mo, and I am here today to do another SFF Babbles video, and today's topic, or this week's topic rather, is underhyped science fiction. I have been reading fantasy since I was a child. I've only been reading science fiction for a few years, and so I feel like I have slightly less to say about this one. I am going to quickly mention a few books that, if you are not new to my channel, you have heard me talk about. But then I'm going to do what I've seen some other people doing, and I'm going to talk about the sci-fi books on my TBR, and you guys can let me know if you've read them and what you think of them, etc. But firstly, my few recommendations that I do have. If you've been around for a little while, you will have seen on my top reads of last year video, there were 2 science fiction books. There may have been more. There are 2 I'm going to talk about today. The first of which is City by Clifford D. Simak. This is a sort of connected collection of short stories, and it's all set in a world where humanity is no longer there and dogs have been uplifted, and these stories are the stories that the dogs tell each other about the humans, and it's sort of this progression of history, futuristic history, as you watch what's happening to humanity and how the dogs are becoming uplifted, etc. It's really good. It's really funny, but also has a lot of really good stuff to say, and if that sounds at all interesting, you should definitely look it up. The next book that I'm going to mention was my favorite book of last year, and that is A Canticle for Leibowitz by Walter M. Miller Jr. And this follows a group of monks who are trying to preserve knowledge in a post-apocalyptic future, and it follows them throughout a series of different time periods and how their mission, so to speak, changes as the world around them changes, and it is so good. You should definitely pick this up if you like science fiction and you have not read it. The third book that I would like to recommend is The Siberiad by Stanislaw Lem, which I just did a review of recently. And it's essentially like a collection of like comic science fictional fairy tales. So if that sounds interesting and you want to hear me talk more about it, you can go check out my review. I'll link those down below. Otherwise, I'm going to get into my science fictional TBR. So I'm just going to kind of list off the books that I own but have not yet read that are science fiction books, and if you guys have read these, you can let me know what you thought about them, which ones I should read first, etc. down in the comments. The first sort of group of these that I have are all slightly older science fiction books. The first 2 are both by Edgar Rice Burroughs. I have The Pirates of Venus, and I also have The People That Time Forgot. Don't really know anything about these other than that Burroughs wrote them, and I enjoy his books in general. They're not great literature, but they're a lot of fun, so I am expecting that I will enjoy these 2 as well. I have The Last Man by Mary Shelley, which I believe is an apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic story. And I have 2 H.G. Wells novels. I have The War of the Worlds and The Invisible Man. So far as slightly newer science fiction books, I have firstly I Sing the Body Electric by Ray Bradbury. This is a collection of his short stories. I have Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card, which is the second book in the Ender's Game series, because I read the first one and I really liked it, and I just haven't got around to reading the second one yet. So that's gonna happen sometime. The Forever War by Joe Haldeman. I believe this is about a war where the people on Earth age faster than the soldiers because of time or space travel, but I'm not really sure. The Birthday of the World by Ursula K. Le Guin. I think this is a collection of her short stories. And I have 2 Stanislaw Lem novels. I have Solaris, which is about a world that has a sentient ocean. And I have The Invincible, which I think is about a spaceship that crashes and the people have to survive. I also have Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie, which, if you watch Booktube, you've probably heard of. Or I'm not sure how you wouldn't have heard of it. Then I have Lagoon by Nadia Korafor. I believe this is about an alien spaceship landing in Africa, or possibly an alien invasion. Not entirely sure. The Quantum Thief by Hanu Rayanyemi. and I don't remember what this one is about at all. Next, I have Ilium by Dan Simmons. I believe this is a science fiction retelling of the Iliad by Homer. Then I have On Basilisk Station and The Honor of the Queen by David Weber. And lastly, I have A Borrowed Man by Gene Wolfe, which is about a clone who works at a library who helps to solve a murder, I think. Alright, so those are my recommendations and my science fictional TBR. Let me know if you've read these, what you think of them, which of these you think I should read next, and I will be seeing you guys another time. Bye.